The sun never setting on the British Empire is more than a poetic sentiment, it was a reality for the vast territories under British rule. At its zenith, the British Empire governed nearly a quarter of the world's population, influencing politics, culture, and economics globally. But like all empires before it, the British Empire eventually receded. But what if it hadn't? In this journey of alternative history, let's delve into the speculative and explore the uncharted waters of a world where the British Empire never fell. The pinnacle of global politics. Dominance and diplomacy. If the British Empire had retained its territories, London would likely remain the epicenter of world politics. The British monarch and the Prime Minister would wield unparalleled influence, dictating global agendas, treaties, and perhaps even controlling an expanded version of the United Nations. The Commonwealth's extended role, the Commonwealth of Nations, an organization of former British territories, could have evolved into a more politically cohesive and potent entity, a counterbalance to other emerging superpowers. An altered Cold War landscape. Britain versus USSR, the Cold War might have had a different third major player. Instead of a bipolar world dominated by the USA and USSR, Britain would be a formidable force. With its extensive resources and territories, the British Empire might have played a more proactive role in shaping Cold War policies and alliances. Decolonization and proxy wars. Many Cold War proxy wars stemmed from decolonization efforts. If the empire hadn't fallen, places like Africa might see fewer conflicts, with Britain maintaining stability, though potentially at the cost of local autonomy and freedoms. Cultural ramifications. English as a universal language. English is already a dominant global language, but in this alternate scenario, its ubiquity would be even more pronounced. Schools worldwide might prioritize British literature, history, and values. Media and entertainment. British media could overshadow Hollywood. The Beatles, already global icons, might be just the tip of the cultural iceberg, with British music, films, and television shows enjoying an even more significant global dominance. Sporting world. Cricket could challenge soccer for global dominance. The Olympic Games might be permanently housed in London, making the British capital the recurring epicenter of international sports. Economic implications. Continued economic hegemony. With its vast territories and resources, the British Empire's economic prowess would be unmatched. The British pound could become the global reserve currency, making London the world's financial hub. Trade and policies. The vast intercontinental British territories would facilitate a global trade network, minimizing dependency on external economies. Protectionist policies could be implemented to ensure that trade benefits primarily the empire. Resistance and unrest. Pockets of rebellion. It's unlikely that all colonies would be content under prolonged British rule. Nationalist movements could gain momentum, leading to insurgencies, making parts of the empire volatile. Civil rights movements. Given the racial prejudices associated with colonial rule, we might witness more pronounced civil rights movements within the empire, challenging the British racial hierarchy and advocating for equality. Conclusion. A complex web of possibilities. A perpetually dominant British Empire paints a picture of a world both familiar and profoundly different. While the empire's continued existence could ensure global stability and cultural cohesion to an extent, it could also stoke nationalism, unrest, and challenges to the status quo. The exercise of speculating an alternative history is not just an imaginative endeavor. It allows us to reflect on the real impacts, both positive and negative, of historical events and appreciate the intricate, interconnected tapestry of our shared past. Technological advancements and the empire. Pioneering innovations. With its vast resources, the British Empire would likely invest heavily in scientific research and technological advancements. Universities like Oxford and Cambridge could be the global epicenters of breakthroughs, overshadowing institutions like MIT or Stanford. Transportation networks. The empire's widespread territories would necessitate advanced transportation systems. This could lead to earlier innovations in high-speed rail networks, advanced naval fleets, and a more extensive global airline system headquartered in the UK. Environment and natural resources. Resource management. With access to vast territories rich in resources, the British Empire might either exploit them unchecked, leading to environmental degradation, or potentially create a centralized system for sustainable usage, given the long-term vision of maintaining the empire. National parks and conservation. The British penchant for gardens and conservatories might translate into a larger scale of nature reserves and national parks across territories, preserving diverse ecosystems. Education and academia. Unified curriculum. Education across the empire might be standardized, leading to a global curriculum centered around British history, culture, and values. Opportunities for study. With seamless movement across the empire, students from various territories might travel to Britain for higher education, creating a global melting pot of ideas and cultures within the empire's educational institutions. Health and medicine. Medical research. The empire, dealing with diseases across various climates and regions, might pioneer medical research in tropical diseases, leading to earlier breakthroughs. Healthcare systems. A centralized British healthcare system might be implemented across the territories, possibly expanding the NHS, National Health Service, model globally within the empire's dominions. Religion and spirituality. Anglican dominance. The Church of England might play a more dominant role, with Anglicanism possibly becoming more widespread across territories. Religious syncretism. As the empire seeks to integrate diverse cultures, we might witness a blending of religious practices. British holidays could incorporate elements from local traditions, leading to unique, syncretic celebrations. Cuisine and dietary habits. Fusion foods. British cuisine, often criticized for its perceived blandness, could undergo a revolution. Influences from Indian, African, and Caribbean culinary traditions might merge with British staples, leading to a global culinary renaissance. Tea culture. Already a beloved British tradition, tea culture could become even more pronounced. Varieties from Assam, Darjeeling, and Kenya would be globally renowned, and afternoon tea might become a worldwide ritual. Final thoughts. The ripple effects of an enduring empire. The persistence of the British Empire would undeniably reshape the world in countless ways, from politics to culture and everything in between. While it's fascinating to imagine the what ifs, it's crucial to remember that empires, by their very nature, often come at the cost of subjugation and the suppression of local customs and identities. Nevertheless, envisaging an alternate history offers a unique lens, challenging our understanding of the world and the myriad factors that have shaped it. In the words of historian Niall Ferguson, history is not deterministic, but neither is it a random walk. It is this balance between determinism and unpredictability that makes the study of alternative histories so intriguing.